Ancient Homo erectus was wiped out in a mass extinction event. This is what archaeologists have recently found. This is by Joel Day Express UK. This is a discovery made in the island of Java, Indonesia. Scientists discovered Homo erectus and that he was wiped out, killed in a mass death event. They dated Homo genius to have survived far longer than what was previously thought. Scientists discovered that the last known members of these Homo erectus species were wiped out, killed in a mass death event between 117,000 and 108,000 years ago, almost 300,000 years later than what was previously believed. They did 5 different studies on the dating, and that's what they came up with. Homo erectus is a direct ancestor of modern humans, first species to walk fully upright. This new study reveals how an isolated group of extinct humanoid species made its last stand on the island of Java, Indonesia, about 110,000 years ago, the date providing research with clear insight into when and why these ancient ancestors perished. Their remains were found in the 1930s, and they were used and analyzed to discover the close date of which the Homo erectus finally became extinct. The remains were found at a bone site above the Solo River in Nangdong, central Java. The site contained 12 skull caps and 2 lower leg bones belonging to this Homo erectus. At that time, there were very few methods available to accurately date the site, and the fossils were estimated to be anywhere between 550,000 to 27,000 years old. But with radiocarbon and uranium series dating, they were not developed yet. Now we have them, and that made at that time harder for the finds to penetrate historical significance. The international team of researchers reignited excavations around the village of Nangdong after renewed interest and question marks over the plight of this Homo erectus. What happened to them? Russell Clocken from the University of Iowa said fossils are part of a mass death event that occurred upriver, which coincided with changing environmental conditions as open woodlands transitioned into a rainforest. He said the site is the last known appearance of Homo erectus found anywhere in the world. We can't say we dated the extinction, but we dated the last occurrence of it, and we have no evidence of Homo erectus living later than that anywhere else. Homo erectus was the first early human species to leave Africa around 1.9 million years ago, and Coughlin is one of the several researchers who returned to this original site to reassess the site itself and the Homo erectus bones that were found there. Using series of dating techniques, the team was able to refine the age of the bones between 117,000 and 108,000 years old, making them the latest known Homo erectus fossils in the world. They believe these individuals, all adults, were killed in a mass death event upstream and were subsequently washed down the river during a flood and deposited where they were eventually found over 100,000 years later. There were several theories as to why the group died, including a volcanic mud flow, a lahar, for example. The study, author Kira Westaway from Macquarie University of Australia, said, at present we don't know what this event could have been, but the carcasses and bones that were lying on the landscape were incorporated into floodwaters deposited downstream at the site of Nangdong, where the river narrows slightly. She said it's likely that the fossils got caught in a long jam built up of largely woody debris in the channel to form a sort of carcass jam, and then were buried with the river sediments. Researchers dated the technique on the sediments and fossil animal bones in the area, combining 52 age estimates for the analysis, and it took them 13 years to complete this. The research leader on human evolution at London's Natural History Museum, Professor Chris Stringer, said, "This is a very comprehensive study of the depositional context of the famous Nangdong Homo erectus partial skulls and shin bones, and the authors built a strong case that these individuals died and were washed into the deposits of the Solo River about 112,000 years ago. The age is very young for such primitive-looking Homo erectus fossils. The establishment that the species perished on Java for well over 1 million years. Now, the new studies suggest Homo erectus reached Java more than 1.5 million years ago, disproving the notion that Homo erectus and Homo sapiens would have lived together on the island, as erectus arrived at least 35,000 years before the Homo sapiens. So it proves that Homo erectus existed longer on Earth than any other species on our Homo branch of the evolutionary tree. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.